What up guys? So here we have two great devices. We have the PS Vita and the new iPad. Now I'm not going to give you a full rundown of the specs because there have been plenty of videos out there talking about the Retina display and the OLED screen on this. Pretty much I'm going to give you a few things about both devices and my thoughts which one you should get. Let's start off with the pricing. If you plan to get the 16 gig new iPad, it will run you $500, and if you plan to pick up the PS Vita, currently is $250 without a memory card. So let's say you want to make it even and get a 16 gigabyte, that will run you another $50 I believe, so it will be about $300. Now the iPad screen is 9.7 inches, where the PS Vita is 5 inches. But realize the PS Vita is made mainly for gaming, where the iPad is made for everything pretty much. From gaming to web browsing to watching movies, music, and also for educational usage. They both have front and back facing cameras. The PS Vita camera is not bad, but it's not an HD camera, and I'm not sure the megapixel because it's not much, but it shoots decent photo and video, but nothing to be excited. With the new iPad, the front facing camera is the same as the rest of the Apple product. It's very mediocre. But the back facing camera is a 5 megapixel camera that shoots nice 1080p HD video and really nice photos. Now again, both screens are really nice. Again, there is a size difference, but when you look at both of them, the PS Vita screen is very nice and vibrant, and of course the new iPad with the Retina display is really nice, and with a better color saturation than the iPad 2, it does help out with the video and gaming. So they both have really nice screens. Now the PS Vita, of course, finally has the dual analog sticks. It does have buttons, so it does have a control pretty much, and it does have a front-facing touchscreen pad and also a back touchpad. So it is also touchscreen. And of course the iPad is only a touchscreen. It has a front touchscreen. Of course it has no control, but there is a control coming out where you can play games, most games, on your iPad with that control, and it'll be wireless. Now games. Most games on the PS Vita will run you between $30 to $50. For the bigger title, will be $50. Most games will be about $30. Of course, you also have downloadable games. If you download games from the PSP, it will run you between $15 to $30. And the little arcade games can run you anywhere from $2.99 to $15. And the PS Vita titles will be about $5 cheaper than the actual titles if you was to buy it in a store. Where the iPad has titles running from 99 cents, a lot of them for 99 cents, to $20. Only a few of them will run you about $20 to $10. Most are below $10 to, around that range. Now graphics on the games. The PS Vita has really nice graphics. I wouldn't put it so close to the PS3. It'll be more in between the PS3 and the PS2. The higher end being closer to the PS3 and the lower end being to the PS2. Now the iPad, or the new iPad or iPad 2, whatever you want to call it, the games range from okay small titles like Angry Birds to great graphic games like Infinity Blade 2, Dead Space, Asphalt, Real Racing, and the list goes on. Now if you want to look at 12 games for the iPad that are for real gamers, you can check in the description, it'll be there so you can see what kind of games you could get on your iPad. But that being said, it has cross-play, but most people won't spend $100 for one game because you'll spend $40 to $50 for the PS Vita version and $60 for the console version. So that is a feature that I would never use. And using this as a remote for the PS3, also the feature I would never use. Now the iPad, it being the fact that you have no control right now currently, you could use this as a control for most games, as where you could buy an adapter and play with your HDMI connected to your TV and using this as a remote and playing the games on your TV. Next thing is size. Again, the iPad is a lot bigger and a lot heavier. Where the PS Vita is a lot smaller, the buttons are not too big, it's not as far apart enough so where you could play comfortably. The dual analog sticks does help out when you're trying to game. And of course the screen is big enough so when you watch movies, it's not too small where you can't really enjoy the movie. Now the battery life. The new iPad could last up to 10 hours. In my experience, it's been more about 8.5 to 9 hours, give or take. With the PS Vita, if you're really playing it, will last you more about 4, maybe 5 hours, depending on what you do. So that being said, if you have another $200 to spend, I would go with the new iPad. Or if you don't, just go with the iPad 2. Still a great device, and now currently it's $400. So you spend $100 more than if you was to buy the PS Vita with a 16 gig memory card. Now, if you're looking just for a gaming device, the PS Vita, you can't go wrong. But I will hold off and wait for a price drop to happen, because in the near future, probably the next 4 or 5 months, it will drop to about $200 to $180. So then that'll be a better price. And then the current launch title will be about $20 to $25. So it will just be worth it. But if you're looking at something for gaming, because this I'll still think it's better for gaming than even the PS Vita, for movie watching, for pretty much web browsing. Because I didn't even compare the web browsing, because there's no point. The iPad web browsing is amazing, of course. It doesn't have Dolby Flash, neither does the PS Vita currently. But the web browsing on the PS Vita is trash, so there was no point of showing you that. So my recommendation is the new iPad or the iPad 2 compared to the PS Vita. But guys, that's my opinion. Let me know what you think, which one you get, which one you got. Did you get the new iPad or iPad 2? Do you like it? Did you get the PS Vita? Do you think it's a disappointment or amazing product? Let me know in the description below. But again guys, don't forget to like and favorite. And until next time, peace.